speaking of firearms, I think we do have to. You blew my mind with some of the Michael Byrd stuff, in terms of his history and his future after having shot and killed Ashli Babbitt point blank and hailed as a hero. We could talk about that for a few minutes.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
I know you'll tell me when you got to go. I won't hold you for longer than you can.
I got about 10 minutes.
Okay, excellent. And then after that, I'm going to move the party on over to Rumble. Maybe I do it. No, I'll do it after. Okay, Michael Byrd. So we know who Michael Byrd is. He's the guy who shot Ashli Babbitt point blank in the upper torso. I'm following the chat. I'm not getting into the discussion as to whether or not Ashli Babbitt was actually shot. People are entitled to believe what they want, and I don't have to entertain everybody's theories, even if they sincerely hold them. If they're harmless to everybody except Ashli's family, I presume. And I indirectly ran into Ashli's mother at during the live stream with Lang when he was outside the DC gulag, and she's a broken woman. There's no question about that. Michael Byrd, okay, he's got a history of being a jackass. He's got a present of being an idiot, and he's got the future or after the events of arguably getting paid off for what he did. Starting with we all knew that he had some disciplinary issues. He left his gun in a bathroom at the DC building for an hour, just the type of thing, idiots do. He had some other issues that I was unaware of that you mentioned to me.
Yeah. So first and foremost, the bathroom thing is a massive deal because it was in the visitor center of the U.S. Capitol. So this is, and for 1 hour, there was a gun on the the sink area, the hand wash station of the U.S. Capitol bathroom. So anybody that's been through security, been through a secure checkpoint in the Capitol building with all of our elected officials who need so much more protection than we do, apparently, that gun was available to any of them for over an hour and was only found by another U.S. Capitol police officer, not by, like, Michael Byrd didn't go back and say, like, hey, I left my gun in here. It's insane.
It's insane. I don't even know why you would take your gun out I don't know, I don't know how it works
or something. I don't know.
And he leaves it there, doesn't realize somebody else finds it, or maybe he forgot where he left it. From what I understood, it wasn't the first time either that he left his gun somewhere where it wasn't supposed to be left. But set that aside. Any sanction for that, or any demotion, disciplinary proceedings?
I think he probably got like a slap on the wrist for that.
All right. What were the other ones?
So he had an event years before that, which was interesting. It was an officer-involved shooting where he was off duty at his house, and it was early in the morning. Something went bump in the night. He goes outside, and this is according to a letter from Barry Loudermilk, Representative Barry Loudermilk, who chaired the Weaponization Committee subcommittee, who's now chairing the J6 subcommittee under the Judiciary. So we'll get a lot more now that subpoenas go through Jim Jordan instead of Brian Stile. So hopefully we'll get a lot more from Loudermilk. But so Michael Byrd goes outside, and he sees two vans out in front of the house. He makes this claim that the vans, when they saw him, and he took his service weapon with him, they started driving towards him like they were going to run him over. And so Michael Byrd, when he spoke to the Office of Personnel Management or whatever, whoever it is that you go to for discipline, told them that he had fired into the windshield to try and stop a vehicle that was about to strike him. And then as it went by, he fired a couple more shots at it as it was driving past him. Well, they ended up catching up to the vans later, arrested the individuals, took the vans into, into evidence, and they ended up going through and doing a forensic assessment of the rounds in the van. Well, Byrd lied about the shots to the front of the van. The only shots that he took at the van were from behind. Like one went through, I think, like the gas tank, and one was through like the back quarter panel, like the where the opening for the gas tank is, not the gas tank itself. And so, there was a lie there, and he discharged his firearm unlawfully, or maybe lawfully, but he lied in the investigation to it. So not a lot of credibility there. There's also like several referrals to the OPM, the Office of Personnel, as well, for issues that we don't know what they are. They're sealed, so we have no idea what these other issues are.
Amazing. And then tell me about the GoFundMe, which I'll mention the name because it's scoundrels like Michael Byrd that use GoFundMe. But after he shot and killed Ashli Babbitt, he was investigated. They decided not to. It was justified. He's facing civil wrongful death, but that's got to work its way through the system right now. And I'm not exactly sure what the status of that wrongful death suit claim is. He got I wouldn't call it a promotion, but what you told me is he got a signing bonus when he renewed his contract. That was,
well, he did get a promotion. He's a captain now. He's no longer Lieutenant Michael Byrd. He's Captain Michael Byrd. So he did get a promotion.
Okay.
So he got a signing bonus, of a retention bonus of $36,000. All the other officers, according to Loudermilk's letter, only received $3,000. So Michael Byrd received, according to Loudermilk's letter, letter 12 times what the other Capitol police officers got as far as retention bonuses. Interestingly enough, he also had a a GoFundMe set up by the Capitol Police, that raised $164,000 for him. Now, I can't help notice when numbers congruently fit together so perfectly into a nice little package, and he got a clean $200,000. 36 plus 164, 200,000. Whenever I see
after the shooting, I'm going to see if I can pull up the Give Send Go. No, sorry, the Go F Me. What was the stated objective? Like help him retire or help him get therapy? I mean, maybe like legit, if he's traumatized for having shot and killed what he finds out to be an unarmed woman, a veteran, maybe he's traumatized. What the hell was the purpose of this GoFundMe?
No idea. They also did $21,000 in security upgrades to Michael Byrd's house, allegedly, I guess, under the guise of people were threatening to harm him or something. And during the 6 months that they were doing those upgrades to his home, he was afforded the opportunity to stay at the Distinguished Visitors Center at Joint Base Andrews. So when foreign dignitaries come in and we treat them, like diplomats, like high-ranking diplomats, he was staying in those quarters while they were doing the work on his home. So if I can, this is the interesting thing. I'm going to if I can share this imagery.
Yeah, I think you could share it on your side. On my end, I can't. Oh, you got it here. I'm going to add this to stage.
Yeah.
Let's go see what this.
So this is an email that was put out by Representative Loudermilk, and it's from Timothy Blodgett, and I believe. Let me just make sure, but Blodgett, I believe, is the chief of staff for the U.S. Capitol Police. And he was then, and he still is today. And Steve Marchese, who's he's a staff member with the House of Representatives, got an email saying, Lieutenant Mike Byrd, he is very upset. It says chairman was speaking with Lieutenant Mike Byrd. He is very upset with how he is being treated. He wants us to figure this out. And now, sorry to dump this on you. I mean, maybe I'm being conspiratorial, but that sounds like a person that's arguing as if he has leverage. A lieutenant in the Capitol Police telling a congressman, this is what we need. Like, I'm mad at you for not getting me this money on time.
I've got to see it. It's amazing. I can't seem to find it. Surpasses its goal. The Gateway Pundit confirmed. Where is the link? It may or may not still be up. I'll see if I can find it afterwards. But yeah, it's wild.
It really is. It really is.
I don't know how these things work. What do you have to do to get promoted from it was a lieutenant to a captain?
Well, for one, not leave your firearm in a secure area for over an hour without realizing it, and only to have it recovered by somebody else in your department. In the Marine Corps, if I had done that, my career would have been over. And that's, as a lance corporal, a corporal, a sergeant. If I was a lieutenant or a captain, I would be immediately. We had a gunnery sergeant that was relieved of duty because somebody accidentally put a set of NVGs in another platoon's armory, and this guy's leaving a gun in a secure area with 435 of our elected House members. It's wild. It's insane. And now he's a captain.
It's amazing. I can't seem to find the actual GoFundMe, but from reports at the time, January, give or take 2022, it raised $162,000 in 24 hours.
I think, let me see. Yeah, but by the way, that's absolutely unheard of.
Well, I won't fault them because Give, Send, Go at the very least allows people to raise money for a defense, but there's a Give, Send, Go that's been set up for Luigi Mangione. And you go and you read some of the comments of the donations, and it will not make you feel happy or secure about overall. I mean, everyone's entitled to a defense, and everyone's entitled to raise money for their defense, and Go F Me screwed people politically depending on whether or not they like the cause underlying the defense. But it's the comments. One person said, there was one comment that said, kill 65,000 people with an algorithm, nothing. Kill one CEO, the world's up in arms. And like, man, that's that logic leads to very, very bad things.
Here, let me share this because this is fascinating as well. So this is another one of the emails from Barry Loudermilk on the committee. And this is from Michael Byrd on November 16th, 2021 to Thomas DeBias, who is, and let me make, well.
Oh, you want me to take it away?
No, you can leave it up. I don't have the article pulled up. I was trying to think. DeBias, I want to say he's general counsel for the U.S. Capitol Police, but don't quote me on that.
Enhance it if you can, or zoom in a little bit on the, there you go. Okay.
He says, this is what Michael Byrd said to DeBias. We play the game as you request. And then once we're in compliance, you guys change the rules on us. If we were aware that our situation would be looped in with everyone on the department, then we would have been better prepared. We were expecting this was for us, and everyone else has their own situation. They would all be handled on a case-by-case basis. The amount received for the retention fund was less than $24,000 after taxes. Please prepare a letter defining how we will be reimbursed for the security upgrades before we make any purchases. I'll have a credit card, blah, blah,
Holy
blah.
shit.
I know.
It's entitlement. I mean, it's beyond that, it's demands.
Entitlement's an understatement. We play the game you request. Yeah,
well, hopefully under the new administration, there will be a proper. I mean, they've already started their investigation, but a proper investigation. He was pardoned. Someone was saying in the chat, there's no statute of limitations for murder, but Michael,
he's been pardoned.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain.
Completely.
Hold on. Okay, I think it's conflicted. Hold on. Was Lieutenant Michael Byrd pardoned? I think I looked this up last week. Was he pardoned?
As far as I know, all the Capitol police officers and Metro police officers that testified were pardoned.
Yes, that's okay. So this is what I remembered from last week. Grok, for what it's worth, is saying no, he wasn't pardoned, because the pardon did cover officers who testified, but I think only as pertains to their testimony. Claims suggesting that Biden pardoned him have been debunked by fact-checking organizations like Lead Stories Fact Check. Well, now I'm even more suspicious that it's true. Because the truth is, they wouldn't know until he presented the document, and even Barnes didn't know what the disclosure requirements were for a pardon if he got one. They confirmed that there's no evidence of such a pardon, and Byrd did not testify before the January 6th committee. I don't know that let me just see here. Is a president required to disclose the existence? No. So then no, a president's not legally required. We don't know.
A lot of people are speculating now that Biden may have pardoned himself in secret, so to speak.
Well, that'll piss me off, because I had a friendly prediction on Kalshi that he would pardon himself. It was 2% odds, but by the rules, if he does it later, I don't think they're going to go back and honor that bet. That's wild.
Yep.
It's amazing.
Insane. Yep. So I've got an article up on Gateway Pundit. If you search Michael Byrd, it'll be like the second article that pops up. If you guys want to read over that, going through all the letter from Loudermilk and all that evidence, you can read the emails as well. I've got them linked in there. I link it. I bring all the receipts, because we get flagged as far right blogs, so you have to be as thorough as possible in documenting everything. And so I did a pretty good job.
I have until I became aware. I always thought the Gateway Pundit was what they said it was.
Nope, we're not.
Radical far right. But this was 5 years ago. But since then, I've come to realize that InfoWars and Gateway Pundit I've never known Gateway Pundit to get anything radically wrong. Certainly thorough, but now I have a much more renewed trust in them.